Gotta remember what it was that I was trying to say all along here. So why don't I tell you guys how it is that I got out here in Los Angeles. So I came out here for SIR. SIR was in LA. That was March 2018. So I came out here. Pretty much the trip, I was mostly by myself. I stayed at a couple places by myself. So I stayed in downtown LA where the convention was, where SIR was, but I also stayed actually in Beverly Hills. I rented a room on Airbnb, and it was this guy's house in Beverly Hills. So it was like a room in a guy's house in Beverly Hills. I don't usually do that, but I was just like, I'm out here. I'm in LA. I don't get to come out here that often. I was living in Pennsylvania at the time, and I'm mostly East Coast based. And I was like, I want to see what it's like to live up there, in the hills or whatever. And I had to check it out. So it was a nice room. It looked like a nice room. It was pretty inexpensive, it was like maybe $120 a night. So I booked the room, and after staying in downtown LA for a couple days, I took an Uber over there. And the place was really cool. I mean, it was amazing. It's a beautiful home, kind of in this, kind of windy road which goes in the hills, and it's a little bit on a cliff. So when you're looking off the back of the house, you just see a really nice scene of different houses. You get a view of LA, and just really bright and vibrant and lively and really nice. And I was blown away. I walk in the room, I'm like, whoa, and you walk into the house, and you're basically in this $1 million house in Beverly Hills, and then you walk over. There's a room that you can stay in, and it's a really nice room. So I had to ask, so the guy, the owner of the home, and then the person that rents out the room, came back, and he's a really nice guy. He wanted to say hello, and he likes to meet with the guests. And asked him what he does, and it turned out he's a physician. He's an Indian physician, actually a family practice physician that works there. He lives in Beverly Hills. He works a little bit elsewhere in LA, but he has his own practice, works with the insurance companies directly, and takes care of patients. He does what we all do as physicians. He takes care of patients. And it was just nice. I got a chance to chat with him. I told him how excited I was to be there, how beautiful it was, how excited I felt just to be in that area. And I gotta say, I was kind of captured by it all. I was like, if I can practice medicine, if I can practice interventional radiology, which I can, which I'm trained to do, why not practice it out here? That'd be pretty nice. And I always thought that it'd be a little hard for me because I have no real connections to that area. I didn't do fellowship in that area. I didn't do residency in that area. And I know it's a really hard area to break into. So I was kind of, talking to myself out of I wouldn't have a chance to really practice in that area. So I chatted with this guy, and I shared with him my thoughts, and he said that's not true at all. He said that's absolutely not true. He said, I know for a fact that I know you can get a contract in this area. It may not be right here, but I'm sure in LA somewhere you should be able to get a contract. I'm sure you could get a contract to do interventional work out here. In fact, I know my hospital needs some radiology or interventional work. So that encouraged me, and that made me feel good, and I thought this is a good connection. I got his number, and I stayed in touch with him. Got back from SIR, really refreshed, really energized, really educated, and I started to work. I started doing my work, and I always do my work a little bit in secret. I did my work on the computer. Be aware of anybody that you see with a MacBook out because they're doing something, and that's what I was doing. So trying to figure out, how do I do this? How do I do this thing that I want? And how do I get a job in LA? First thing I did was I got a California license. So I applied for a California license, and I realized how difficult it is to get a California license. Now, it's not difficult like impossible, but it's difficult like you gotta do a bunch of steps, and it's a little annoying. But I learned from looking at that website and figuring out all the steps. I was like, all right, I can do this. One of the steps was actually kind of interesting. You had to get fingerprinted. So I actually had to go to my local police station where I grew up in Athens, Pennsylvania. Had to go and get fingerprinted. So it's kind of funny. So I got there, and it's a place that I've been to many times because as a Boy Scout growing up in the area, we used to do our some meetings we would attend at the hall that's right next to that police department. So I got there and I go to get my fingerprints taken, and it turns out I know the guy that's doing my fingerprints. You know, he's somebody I went to high school with, and it turns out that pretty much everybody in the station knew who I was. I knew that I worked at Guthrie, and they did ask. They're like, "Where are you sending these prints off to? California? What, are you going to leave?" And it's just kind of funny that in a small town, you know, you just can't do anything in secret. Everybody knows everything. So, anyways, I got everything done. I got on the phone. I called the California board, you know, every couple of days or every couple of weeks until finally that California license came through the mail. As soon as that thing came through the mail, I figured out, I was like, hey, I'm in good shape. I've got, as soon as that thing came in the mail, I started to work out a line. I started to try to come up with a narrative to show employers and to apply to jobs to. So I kind of worked on it. I was like, all right, I am a board certified in radiology, board certified interventional radiologist with recent fellowship training at Emory. Completed a fellowship in 2017, and I have an active California license looking for opportunities in the LA region. You know, kind of cleaned it up a little bit, but that was the basic premise. You know, I told them the things that I think they're most interested in is that, you know, board certified, fellowship trained, good fellowship name, and the active California license. So started applying to jobs. Now, you know, again, no real connections. I was kind of just, you know, trying to open up to people and open up to opportunities as I saw them. I would certainly use job boards, but I was also chatting with some recruiters, and I would reach out to them. I'd kind of learn how to have a phone conversation with them, and not in an antagonistic way, but really just in an open way. You know, having a conversation with them in a nice way, trying to tell them what I'm interested in, what I'm looking for. And of course, a lot of these discussions kind of went nowhere. I would talk to some people and talk to them for maybe 15 minutes about what I'm interested in. And of course, I'd never hear from them again. But finally, I talked to somebody, and they said they have a position, and it's in LA. And, you know, I gave some basic information, and they said, well, if the group is interested, you'll hear back for them. So finally, then I was put in touch with a president of a group. He's president of a group in LA, and he's looking for an interventionalist, and he's looking for them to start as soon as possible, and looking for someone like me with fellowship training and active California license. So we chatted on the phone. We talked about what it is that they're looking for, what it is that I can offer, and that went well. I got out there for an interview. I saw the facility, I saw the location, I saw the type of work that's being done. I chatted with a couple of different people in the group, and I got their contact information, which I think is very important. You know, get people's contact information. Anytime you have a decent conversation with somebody, get their contact information. Anytime you feel that someone could be a good source of information, get their contact information. So I got their contact information. I tried to have a good interview day, and ended the interview, and a few days later I got a phone call, and I was actually at the airport at the time. It's pretty interesting, pretty exciting. So I get the phone call, and it basically says, the president of the group says, you know, hey, you know, if you're interested, this job is yours. You know, if you can come out here, if you are willing to come out here, this job is yours. It's a verbal offer of employment. And of course I was really excited, and you know, the numbers and everything were good. The numbers were pretty much similar to what I had been doing at the current job. So I said, you know, let me talk to my wife and all that. And a few days later, I ended up getting a contract. Looked at the contract checked out, showed it to the wife, contract checked out. I did what I had to do with that contract. I signed that contract and sent it back, and then I ended up resigning the job I had at the time. So it was pretty exciting. You know, it's definitely doable. You know, the you know, time from the idea coming in my head to the time that I signed the contract to the time that I'm actually in LA, or we're in LA. Conference was in March of 2018. License, I think I got it in August of 2018. And I think the employment offer came in late September or maybe early October. Right. So once I signed the contract, it's 3 months credentialing time. So basically October, November, and December were spent credentialing, and then I started the job in mid-January. So March, the idea came into fruition. In January, we're in Los Angeles. So we're not really in LA. We're in actually an area called Chino Hills. It's sort of like the Beverly Hills of the Inland Empire, maybe, you know. It's a nice area. It's a beautiful area. We have a really nice home that we're renting, and commute is okay. Commute's decent. Commute's like 45 minutes one way. I'm just kind of getting used to it. But so far, the work is really exciting and interesting, and we are in the LA region. We have access to LA. We have access to some other areas. We have access to beach areas, and am I living in Beverly Hills where this doctor is that I met through the Airbnb? No, but I'm close, and I'm really enjoying where I'm at. I'm excited about where I'm at, and I just want people to know that you can definitely do it. Whatever dream you have, you can make it happen. And you don't have to have connections, but you do have to be open, and you have to just be able to learn and be willing to learn how to network and learn how to talk on the phone and learn to hear a lot of no's before you hear that one yes. I mean, all you really need is that one person to see your value and give you an offer, give you a contract. And definitely it happened. It definitely happened for me. I was very happy that it happened, and if people want advice on that or want to learn a little bit more about how to do that, I'm happy to talk to them about that. So that's the story, kind of how we got out here. How I got out here to LA. So, all right, that is what it is. Thanks for listening. It's Rob RMD.